Hey guys, today I'm going to be teaching about the computer-aided design software Fusion 360, which is known as a CAD software. We'll be going through the basics of the user interface, otherwise known as the UI, and how to navigate throughout Fusion 360, along with how to use some basic features to make a name tag. Let's jump into it. First, I'm going to make a new project. This is your Fusion 360 digital workspace. At the top of the screen under the design workspace, you'll find several tabs that give you access to different sets of tools. Today we'll be focusing on the Solid tab, which includes the basic tools you need to create and modify 3D objects. On the left-hand side, you'll see your project browser. This is where your components, bodies, sketches, and other elements of your design are listed and organized. In the top right corner of the screen, you'll find the View cube and the Home button. These help you navigate your design by adjusting the viewing angle. And if you ever get lost, you can just hit the Home button and it'll return you to the default orientation. Control plus middle mouse allows you to pan, while Shift middle mouse allows you to orbit. Along the bottom of your screen is your timeline. This shows your project history, where each step or modification is recorded. You can go back and edit previous actions or review changes you've made. Alright, today we're going to start by creating a sketch. First, go to the Create tab at the top of your screen and select Create Sketch. Next, we'll choose the bottom plane as our sketch surface. This is the horizontal plane in the center of the 3-axis Cartesian grid. Now we're going to draw a 2-point rectangle. To do this, go back to the Create tab and select 2-point rectangle. Start your rectangle from the origin point, that's the very center of the 3-axis grid, and drag outwards. Type in 50 millimeters for the height, then press Tab to switch to the field width and enter 100 millimeters. Press Enter to place your rectangle. Now you'll see the rectangle appear on the plane. It's important to make sure your sketches are fully defined. In Fusion 360, a fully defined sketch will have black lines, while undefined sketch or unconstrained geometry will appear blue. This helps ensure your designs behave correctly. A black sketch is a happy sketch. Next, let's add a circle. Click somewhere near the top left of your rectangle and place the circle. Drag outwards until it allows you to enter 8 millimeters. Notice how the circle is still blue? That means it isn't fully defined yet. To fix that, we'll use the Sketch Dimension tool located in the top right of the toolbar. Notice how the circle is still blue? That means it isn't fully defined yet. To fix that, we'll use the Sketch Dimension tool located in the top right of the Create toolbar. Click on the Dimension tool, then click on the center of the circle. Then click on the left vertical line of the rectangle. Drag your mouse to position the dimension and set it to 10 millimeters. Now repeat the process, but this time measure from the center of the circle to the top horizontal line and put it as 10 millimeters. Once both dimensions are set, the circle should turn black, indicating it's now fully defined. Next, we're going to add some text to our sketch. Go to the Create tab and scroll down to select Text. Then click and drag a text box roughly where you want the text to appear, from the left side to the bottom right of the sketch. Don't worry about being exact just yet. We'll define the position and size shortly. Once the text box appears, it will show some sample text by default. I'm going to replace this with my initials. I'll set the text height to 25 millimeters. I've selected a font I like already, which is BrushScript. For alignment, I've chosen the center and the middle. so the text is centered both horizontally and vertically within the box. Once you're happy with the text settings, click OK. Now we can see our text object placed in the sketch, but before we move on, we want to fully define its position and orientation. To do this, we'll use constraints. You'll learn more about how constraints work later, but in short, they define relationships between geometry, like making lines horizontal, vertical, or equal in length. In this case, we're going to use the horizontal/vertical constraint. Select that tool and click on the top edge of the text box. That ensures that the text is perfectly horizontal. Next, we'll switch to the sketch dimension tool to fully define the position of the text. First, click on the bottom edge of the box, then click on the bottom edge of the outer rectangle. Set this distance to 5 millimeters. Then click on the right side of your text box and the right side of your rectangle and make that distance 10 millimeters. Now click on the top edge of the text box to add a dimension of 80 millimeters to define the width. Finally, using this sketch dimension tool, click on the side of the text box, drag, and enter 35 millimeters. With these constraints and dimensions, your text is now properly aligned and fully defined within your sketch. When you're done, go to the top right corner of the screen and click Finish Sketch. Now that the sketch is complete, we're going to turn this into a 3D object by using the Extrude tool. Go into the Create tab under the Solid tab and click on Extrude. After selecting the Extrude tool, I'm going to click the main body of the keychain, the rectangle we created earlier. In the Extrude settings, we'll set the distance to -5 millimeters, which will push the extrusion downwards, creating the base of our keychain. With the base complete, the next step is to extrude the text on top. To do that, head over to the browser panel on the top left of your screen, click the arrow next to the Sketches folder, and expand it. Now find the eye icon next to your first sketch. If it's crossed out, click to turn the visibility back on. This will allow us to use the text sketch again. Next, activate the Extrude tool once more by clicking on it in the toolbar. This time, select the text only and extrude it upwards by 5 millimeters. On the right-hand side in the Extrude settings, make sure the operation is set to join. This is so the text becomes part of the keychain body. Then click OK. Once that's done, go back to your project browser, turn off the visibility of a sketch by clicking the eye icon again. Now that our keychain is almost complete, let's give it a more polished look by rounding the corners. Go to the Modify tab in the toolbar and go to Fillet. Next, we're going to orbit and select all 4 of our corners. Next, we're going to set the fillet radius to 8 millimeters and hit enter. This will round the corners and give your keychain a smoother appearance. Finally, let's save our project. Go to the top left corner and select the save icon. Name your file keychain and click save. That's it. You've just created a keychain using basic tools and functions in Fusion 360. Thanks for watching. Happy designing.